Hello and welcome back to Biweekly Building. Now, today we're building the biggest thing that I've built so far, I think, in this series and any other series, in one video at least. And this build, it took a while, not because it's necessarily very difficult. In total, it technically took me 2.5 hours, but that was with a sort of month gap in it. So there was a big gap between this clip and the other two. But here I'm plotting out where I'm putting stuff and getting everything done, and this sort of first bit to the build is really sort of solidifying the style, how I'm gonna build it and stuff. And yeah, the build it changed quite a lot from these sort of initial designs. It also changed quite a lot from my original idea, which was like just a giant tower on the top of this hill, and I sort of changed it, and it's more turned out as a bit of a castle, which I quite like. I quite like my castles; they're pretty cool. I like building them as well, but this first tower took quite a while to get done, but once I got it done, it was not too hard to pop it over to the other side and replicate it and stuff like that, though it took a while to realise that all of the roofs should be sort of the same sort of shape, apart from one, but I think that one works quite well. But yeah, that sort of I don't know what the technical shape name is, but it's a cone where the sides, the diagonal sides, are like bent inwards. The sort of fantasy style conical roofs. It took me quite a while to actually get it to a stage that I liked it. But we move on from that onto some of the wall, and the other sort of tower on the other side, which goes all the way down to the ground because the cliff ran out. Yes, I ran out of cliff. Very annoying, but it turned out okay. I had to do some terraforming, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I suppose sort of like I should maybe go over the color palette and stuff, and how I chose the blocks to use. So obviously, castles, they are generally grey and dull and stuff like that. It's a similar problem that Scar has with castles. Good Times with Scar, awesome YouTuber, and he basically, his main problem with castles in Minecraft is they just sort of always turn out to be grey and bland, and they always have the same wood, and it's just like the most interesting you sort of get is maybe some diorite, which you can make it work, but it sort of lacks any interest. So I wanted to make it a little bit different. So I've still got the grey, and I've still got the diorite, still got the wood. It's not removing it too far, but it sort of plays with the shape and stuff like that, towers and the use of towers. So the gateway actually it's got one tower, and then it's got one smaller with like a sort of brazier on top, just a big fire, and then the other one's had its roof split and it's got like a bell in it and stuff, and it's made out of mud bricks, which I would say, to be fair, since the update, which update was it 1.19? I think it was. To be honest, all these recent updates are sort of merged together. They've created some weird mass of update. But it's made out of packed mud bricks, and brown mushroom block, which I love that combination. It looks great. I've got some walls in there, packed mud brick wall, which gives it just a little bit of depth and stuff, which is very useful. The base is tough acacia wood and deep slate. There we go. We've got some 1.20 stuff in there. Yay! I can officially claim this is a 1.20 build. Just a quick little cherry tree in there. Which, to be fair, I do quite actually like that custom tree. Wasn't much space, but it turned out quite well actually, I think. But here we are, finally working on the big tower. I guess what you'd call the keep, but not really. It technically is, but I won't go into that because it would get very boring very quickly. Not to me, but that's because I like castles. But yeah, the sort of design of this was basically originally just a big rectangle, and then I came back after about a month and an entire holiday, and I decided I wanted to add a bit more to the shape, give it a bit more interest, a bit more sort of pizzazz, I guess. And to be fair, I think the shape of it is pretty good. It still has that base rectangle. It's got some other rectangles coming off it, and I stopped a bit in the rectangle, made it into a square, and then I moved the square sort of overhanging bits and stuff like that. But yes, this tower is the most unique one. It's got it's made out of calcite, diorite, and light grey concrete powder, I think. And it's got sort of with the wooden frame, stuff like that. And it's technically the most unique tower, but it's basically the same design. But it turned out, I think, all right. Looking at it now, I'd maybe make the wooden bit a bit taller. But a lot of this build was basically here, have this bit of design, and then change it up a little bit and move it to a different place. Which, it works. It keeps it, nice and cohesive. But I would like to maybe, if I was to do this again, I'd maybe sort of have it built in stages. So one area looks one way, the next looks a different way. I added some flags. Gotta have some flags. I don't know, they just make it feel finished, lived in, something. I don't know. It's one of those things. They just make something like that better. There we go. There's a little path all the way up, snaking its way up the hill, and now we come to my worst nightmare: terraforming. To be fair, I say I don't like terraforming. This went alright. I reckon I could have maybe blended bits a tad bit better, but I think it worked out alright for sort of a quick terraforming job. Yeah, that is the build. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.